stop recording before we start taking Q&A, so that way you will remain anonymous for that part, but then we can share this portion with other people that can't make it or maybe are showing up a little bit late. All right, so we'll get started. So first, this is our first workshop Wednesday. These are going to be held every week on Wednesday, except if there's a modified schedule. And so right around the corner, we're having Labor Day holiday. That week will be a modified schedule, so we won't meet then. But for next week, we will have another session. And so these are from 12 to 1. And Ms. Yazdani and I will be alternating who presents, and maybe we'll have some guest speakers down the line as well. Okay, so I know that there's not that many on right now, but I would like to make this interactive. So if you can, either on your phone or if you open up another tab in your browser, if you could go to www.wooclap.com and then put in /CCCWWW1, we're going to do a quick poll. Just to get a sense of who's in the room. All right, great. So Mountain View High School, very well represented. Thank you for being here. There'll be another poll in a minute. So today's topic is really about best practices for distance learning. And this is a topic that we think is very pertinent right now. And we wanted to make sure that we go over the resources that are available through the College and Career Center and some other resources and just have a discussion about it. And so just to introduce ourselves, my name is Laura Duran, and I am the Los Altos High School College and Career Center Coordinator. And then Ms. Yazdani is your College and Career Center Coordinator at Mountain View High School, and we're working together. And so we want you to feel very comfortable reaching out to us with any questions. We're here to support you or help you find the person that can help you with your question. And in addition to the best practices for distance learning, I mentioned the resources. So we're going to take a quick look at both of our College and Career Center sites, have a discussion about email, and then talk about social media. And then we'll wrap up today's session with a Q&A that will not be recorded. All right, so let's begin. We're going to take another quick poll. So hopefully you're still on that page. And we're going to go to question number 2, which is rate your current time management skills. If you were to self-assess how you're doing with your time management, would you say I'm a pro, or I don't miss deadlines, but it comes down to the night before or the last minute? Sometimes you miss deadlines or you completely forget to do something, or I need help. I'm overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Okay, great. So we're in the top sort of bracket, which is you've got some more, you're here, right? Which is amazing. And so that says a lot about your organization. So let's go back here, move on. Okay, so distance learning, as you know, is new for everyone, both for staff, for students, for everyone. And I just want to set the foundation that the life experiences and skills that you're developing right now and that you're practicing right now can benefit you for the rest of your life. And so managing multiple meetings, collaborating with people that aren't in the same room as you, those are skills that you'll be using in your careers after high school. It's just that high school up until now has allowed you to have a lot of in-person collaboration and a more structured, you walk from point A to point B, you're handed a schedule, and there's people kind of helping you in person along the way. And so just keeping an open mind about when you're facing a challenge right now, if you're able to put in techniques or structures to overcome that, those are going to be things that are going to benefit you after high school and definitely in the workforce. So one of the tips is creating a schedule. And so you definitely are going to be planning for academic work and sleep, but you also want to be planning for when are you going to exercise, when are you going to make sure that you're eating your healthy meals, and doing other important life activities. We've been reading a lot of articles and seeing what works. And one thing that seems to be consistent across is that every day you should be waking up, you should be getting dressed as if you were going to leave the house, and getting ready in the morning as if you were going to school. And it might be a mental component of just getting into that mindset of, okay, now school is starting, I'm here to learn. I've got my like academic hat on, but it does seem to help people have a structure and feel like they are in an academic mindset. The other big thing is to check your email. I can only imagine how many emails you're getting, but it is important to check that regularly and then either delete if you don't need it, or if it's something important that you need to save for reference later, you can create a folder in your Google Drive and you can start labeling those so that way it's like, okay, I've read it, there's nothing for me to do now, but this is something I might want to reference in the future. Put it into a folder. And if there's an action item that you need to do with that email, you could either tackle it right away, or you could maybe consider leaving it in your inbox. And so that way, you know, it's like my inbox is only for things that I actually have an action item for. This is something that I still need to do before I move it away. But it can be overwhelming if you aren't staying up on that. And so that's why it's important to block some time each day to manage your emails. And then the last one is getting involved. We know your plate is full managing classes and life, but it is still really important to your high school experience and your growth to join a club, follow different accounts on social media, and then stay in touch with your friends. If you have friends maybe from middle school or from high school or other groups, you know, send them a text message every once in a while, or maybe you can set up a every other week Zoom call with some people. There are a bunch of online opportunities to connect. You can play board games virtually. You probably know way more than even I do on ways to connect with your friends, but it is really important that you stay in contact with others and that you try to get involved with something. And if you need help thinking or brainstorming, you can absolutely reach out to us, either Ms. Yazdani or me, and we can help have a call with you and kind of see what are your interests, what do you have time for, and then it could be something like volunteering or getting involved in a group. Okay, so moving over to the right-hand side of this, just again, having that mindset of how do I make this school year the best that it can be? And it looks different than most other school years or every other school year, but maybe setting a few goals for yourself, maybe writing 5 of those goals down. The benefit to writing them down is it's something that you can look back to later and you can evaluate, am I making progress to this goal? Maybe you no longer like the goal, scratch it out, create a new goal, but putting it somewhere that you can really get present to what you're trying to do this year and looking at it every day so you don't lose track of it. And then at the bottom, I did like a quick 24 hours in a day breakdown. So hopefully this isn't overwhelming, but I wanted to sort of isolate it out in this way so that you can really get a sense of you don't have that much downtime. And so that's why it is really important to plan. So for the first one, it's, you know, hopefully you're getting 8 hours of sleep. For some of you, it might be a bit more. For some of you, it might be a bit less. But as a teenager, you really do need 8 hours of sleep for your brain and for your body to grow. And you should be maybe spending about 2 hours for meals. Hopefully a benefit to the pandemic and working remotely is that you have more time to eat a meal, or you're not rushing to get lunch, or you're running to pack something in the morning before you head off to school. And so if we kind of do the math there, if it's 2 hours for meals, you're down to 14 hours. And then 2 hours for self-care, grooming, again, getting ready for school every day, taking a shower, or maybe you just need an hour after your last class to just decompress or, you know, do something just for yourself. So planning for 2 hours of that a day leaves you with 12 hours. And then we did some math with, if you're taking, you know, 6 or 7 classes, just how many hours of instructional minutes you have, depending on how many classes. And then if you spend about 40, the district recommendation is 40 minutes of homework per night for your college prep classes, and then 60 minutes per night per class for your honors or your AP classes. And so again, doing the math there, how many college prep courses are you taking? How many honors or AP classes are you taking? And then with your remaining time, that's where you can look to a passion project, volunteering, socializing. Maybe you want to tutor somebody, or you would like to receive tutoring. You can take on family responsibilities, or perhaps you can get a part-time job or do some chores. So those are some of the ideas of how you can spend your remaining time. But I recommend that each of you take a few minutes to actually kind of chart out how you're spending your time and see if it's enough in the right places, or if you need to make some adjustments so that you have enough for those basic needs, and also to sort of like be the best student that you can be this year. Okay, so next we're going to talk about websites, email, and social media. Each of our high schools have a dedicated College and Career Center website. And on these websites are a bunch of helpful information. So as you can see here, you can request an appointment on the, here I can click here. So on the Mountain View High School College and Career Center, you can request an appointment, you can view the events calendar, you can look at programs and opportunities, you can, that's taking a little bit to load here. You can look at college opportunities, see a job list or internships, summer programs, test prep, application workshops, and more. So I highly encourage you to check out the website. And we will post this presentation later so you can see those links. And then for Los Altos, we also have one. Covers a lot of the same information, just formatted slightly differently. So we have our events page, college resources, college admissions testing, some information on paying for college, internships and volunteering, and NC2A eligibility for those of you who might want to play a sport in college. So really important and helpful information here. So we encourage you to check those out and maybe bookmark those on your favorites bar.
Can I make a quick note, Laura,
please,
on that?
Yep.
So for the Mountain View High School website, if you click on the scholarships tab, that's where I'll be posting any type of scholarship opportunity that I hear about. So I know students typically will apply for a lot of scholarships in the spring, but there are still a good amount of opportunities in the fall. So just be on the lookout for scholarship opportunities that come your way within the next couple of months. And I would definitely encourage that you apply to these opportunities because I feel like not as many students are applying for the scholarships in the fall. So this is where I'll be posting them. And then in the events, on the events tab, when you click on that, like Mrs. Duran had mentioned, you'll see all of our upcoming events this fall. And I know a couple of you had a challenging time registering for a college visit. So if you're ever struggling to trying to find the link for a college visit, you can also find it here on the events page. So if you can click on any day that you're looking for, click on view details, and the virtual meeting link will be posted here as well.
Yeah, sorry, I think my bandwidth is struggling to keep up right now, but
oh, no worries.
But as you said, they'll all be here, and if you click on them, it will show. Here we go. So tomorrow we have Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute is coming to visit. It gives all the information, and then that's the virtual URL for students. So that's really helpful information for sure.
Thank you.
The other thing, I guess I kind of briefly touched on it, but since I'm not we have a little bit of time, is oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. Is one page back. I started an Instagram account for Los Altos for the College and Career Center just because I love going to the virtual college visits, and I figure you know, sometimes with different social media, it's easier to get information if you're scrolling through Instagram than checking email. And so I encourage any student who's interested to follow that Instagram account. So Los_Altos_CCC, and I'm attempting to post information from each of the college visits after they come. So then you can read about it if you're unable to make it, and then stay up to date with some other things. So great. And then just on the horizon, we're very open to recommendations for what you'd like to see covered in the Workshop Wednesday series. Next week, Ms. Yazdani is going to lead with Naviance. How can you best use it? How can you link your Common App in the platform, request a letter of recommendation, things like that. So make sure to attend if that's relevant to you. We're not going to have a workshop the following week because of Labor Day schedule. And then on the 16th, we're going to have a workshop on the Common Application, a step-by-step approach to that. So those are coming up on the horizon. Okay, so we're going to stop recording now, and we're going to open it up to Q&A. So let's